It's Lausitzring. It is the ADAC GT Masters here in the sunshine. So looking forward to this. The cars having been to Lausitzring and Sachsenring. It's now this big developed track, which was developed as a tri-oval with this fantastic infield section that we visit next on the calendar, the Lausitzring. And we come here with Connor De Filippi and Christopher Mies at the top of the points chart, with Luca Ludwig and Sebastian P2 in the points. And we have Robert Renauer and Martin Raginger in a Porsche on pole position for race number 1. Alongside me is Chris Hartley. It is a grid littered with talent and littered with fantastic machines. Absolutely, and a very busy grid as well. Around about 30 cars on the grid. As you look at the pole sitter, Robert Renauer is going to start this one. Martin Raginger, the Austrian, the very quick Austrian driver, he's going to be alongside Robert this year in the ADAC Motorsports Porsche 911. Qualifying on pole position by just under 0.3 of a second. 1 minute 22.103 and 122.37. For Asenaiber and Schwager, who are in the Callaway competition. Corvette, which is always a spectacular car to watch, that lines up second on the grid. And we've had 4 races so far. A couple of wins for the defending champions, with victories going their way on 2 occasions now. Sebastian Asch and Luca Ludwig looking like they're going to be as competitive as ever, but it's De Filippi and Mies, who have not yet won a race but been consistent. With 3 second-place finishes and a 7th that lead the overall standings. Yet, Dave, work to do here because they're a long way down the grid for this one, aren't they? Oh, absolutely. And as you were saying, Ludwig and Asch have taken a win, interestingly, in race 1 of both the previous weekends. At Lausitzring and Sachsenring, but way down the order, relatively speaking, and not have the qualifying that they would like. So it'll be very, very interesting. But Renauer and Raginger then pole position, and these fantastic cars as we look on board the Lamborghini Huracan of that's Rolf van Eycken and Christian Engelhardt. Christian Engelhardt, of course, not only racing in this, but racing in the Carrera Cup as well across the course of this weekend. And these cars are absolutely phenomenal, aren't they? These Huracan GT3 cars. Run by the Grasser Racing team. And that the number 5 car of Norbert Siedler and Jaap van Lagen. Brief conversation with Jaap van Lagen, who we can see the thumbs up there. Always cheery, always cheerful, and always very, very menacing when he gets onto a racetrack. Jaap van Lagen and Norbert Siedler. Then we see the number 15 car of Markus Winkelhock and Marcus Pommer, the Phoenix Racing Audi R8 LMS. Yeah, Pommer switching from single-seaters, where he's spent many years actually coming up through the ranks. The German Formula 3 champion, raced in the FIA European Formula 3 Championship, but has now taken the step to move across into GT racing. We're seeing this more and more, aren't we, Dave? Drivers who very much so, who can't quite make a career out of single-seater racing coming into GTs, because there are so many opportunities, so many successful GT championships now. The cars are fantastic. You get so much time in them. And the level of drivers and the quality of the teams that are coming into championships like this are incredibly high, and that attracts in turn more and more top drivers to come into it. Absolutely. And as we look at that picture of the main grandstand here, look at the crowd that's here. I mean, this is a big motorsport festival, of which we'll explain more in due course. But equally, for young single-seater stars who all want to make their way to Formula 1, there are but very, very few opportunities. And I think many are very savvy now in realising that you know, there are other career options which will be just as fulfilling. Absolutely right. So the way it works in ADAC GT Masters, 2 separate qualifying sessions for 2 races. One driver does qualifying 1, the other driver does qualifying 2, and you start race 1, and then the driver that started and ran in qualifying 2 starts race 2. So they are the drivers in order as you'd expect them to be here. It's not a case of the lap time was set by a quicker driver and perhaps 1 or 2 drivers out of position here. This is where you'd expect them to be. So Robert Renauer, who's been a
front runner in Porsche Carrera Cup racing. He's done some ADAC GT Masters in the past as well, a couple of years ago, on pole in the Porsche 911. And then we have alongside him, starting the Corvette, Patrick Niederhauser, the Swiss driver, car number 69. And there he's on board the View in Robert Renauer's car, hoping for a better start than he had at the Nürburgring 24-hour last week, because he was one of the drivers that picked up a puncture very early on in the race, which you know, they carried on and got going again, but not the start you want to have for a 24-hour race, losing all of that time, limping back to the pits around quite a long lap, you have to say, 25 kilometres around there. Must have killed him to do that. But Robert going well in the qualifying session this morning. And then third on the grid, Jesse Kron, the very quick young Finnish driver, the Schubert Motorsport back BMW. It's a top BMW team, that, and it should go well in this race.
So here comes the starting grid in full for you for this ADAC GT Masters. Then Renauer and Assenheimer occupying row 1. Row 2 is Jesse Krohn and Rolf Nijken teaming up with Christian Engelhardt. Once again, they've already had a win this season. Lucas Stoltz and Norbert Siedler then go from row 3. Then we see Marcus Pommer and Jules Kuhnon going on row 4. Philip Geipel and Christa Jons. Then it's Audi and Bentley together there with Peter Huvenaars and Sebastian Asch. Then we see David Jahn and Gerhard Turaza. Marvin Dienst, another single-seater racer into GTs, and Connor De Filippi on the next row. Row 9, it's Kuyala and Tutumlu Lopez. Then we see Frankenhout and Dobic on row 10 with Florian Stoll and Nikolai Rogevu with Lucas Schreier. And, well, what a packed grid. And what a sight that is, looking back at that awesome front end of that Bentley. What a car. Right, row 13 then, row 14. 15 is Snooks and Weishaupt. And then we see Weiger and Michaela Arlin Kodolinski, Lois Hesmans and Remo Lips. And we head towards the start of this race. Chris, the safety car's peeled off.
It has, ready for the rolling start here. The third event of the season for the ADAC GT Masters. And then Jesse Kron in the Schubert BMW. That is the two Hurricanes going fourth place, but then the Porsche around the outside from the third row of the grid comes charging through. Was it the Audi, in fact? Perhaps of Philip Geiper that comes charging through around the outside. He's straight into the left at turn number, right to turn 2, into turn 3. It flows as well. And then they go back out now onto the oval circuit. Look at them all jostling for position here. Back onto the oval circuit, kissing the wall, the concrete wall, as they charge down towards this big sweeping, arcing left-hander at turn 6. A big wide hairpin as they turn off the oval circuit back into the infield here. And everybody so far pretty well behaved, but one or two getting close to one another, all finishing with a decent start in the number 63 Lamborghini Huracan. We saw a few in this race trying to gain position. To get through though, Dave, because the first pack of cars, the top 5, has already sprinted away, hasn't it?
It's just the sheer size difference, isn't it, between that Bentley and that Lamborghini. Just look, you know, one sits so high in comparison. Absolutely extraordinary car. Wonderful to watch. So the order then, Renauer, then it's Assenheimer, Krone, and very, very good P4 for Rolf van Dijken, who'll be teaming up with Christian Engelhardt, and problems there for the car of Niklas Machin and Claudia Hurtgen. Claudia Hurtgen returning to the ADAC GT Masters. This is the first event, and also seeing the Kelvin van der Linde and Isaac Tutumlo car being taken into the garage. So the Isaac Tutumlo Lopez car with a wheel missing there.
Yeah, and van der Linde, the 2014 champion, perhaps won't get his chance to make his mark in this race. But this you're looking at is the battle for 5th position now, with the bright green Lamborghini Huracan, number 16, Lucas Stoltz, the German driver. Shadowing him is the Bentley of Christy Johns from 10th on the grid. You're on board with number 63, just ahead of him. Rolf trying to sneak through on the exit to turn number 1, but can't find a way through as yet. But the Schubert BMW of Jesse Kron coming under more and more pressure in turn. It is trying to get past the second place Callaway competition car of Patrick Assenheimer. So this is all allowing the race leader Robert Renaud to stream away. He's nearly 3 seconds clear already.
Yes, and that first group really have now pulled away, haven't they, from the effectively the second part, which is what we're looking at right now. That battle continuing there with the number 16 Lucas Stoltz car, Crassa Racing Team, being hounded by the Christy Johns Bentley there, which is like an absolute tank sounding machine as it roars past our commentary position up high in the main grandstand here at the Lausitzring into turn 1. So Renaud already with 2.5 seconds up the road, Chris. What a margin he has. Of course, a mandatory pit stop driver change to come for these ADAC GT Masters drivers. Between 25 and 35 minutes into the race duration of 1 hour plus 1 lap. And again, just taking a look there, wasn't the Bentley? Were back on board with Rolf van Dijken then chasing down this BMW. Now in the second part of the infield section, that's where the BMW seems more dominant. And Rolf van Dijken struggling to keep up in terms of being right on the back of the BMW. Which of course, as you mentioned, in turn is fighting its own battle as well in trying to wrestle away P2 from the car ahead. Everyone has settled down nicely. Renaud leading by some 2.5 seconds, and that number 16 car really coming under pressure now as the lights are being flashed furiously from the Bentley, just trying to unsettle the driver ahead. It's an old trick which I don't know that ever works, but it's always done, isn't it? Now, not close enough surely yet to dive to the inside, and the one to keep an eye on, you know, here is Goujon in that Corvette, because he's slowly, a viper-like, has crept onto the back of that.
That's right, he lost a couple of places at the start, Goujon, in the 77 car. As the winner of the last race, he carries an extra success ballast here of 30 kilograms, 20 for second, 15 if he finished third in the previous race. You go on board with him now then. And you'll go on with Daniel Karlwitz, who also is racing in Porsches this weekend. Former champion Daniel Karlwitz, and a very good overtaker as well. So yes, it's a good driver lineup that, and this is all starting to queue up now, because there's another 3, 4, 5 cars just behind which are itching to get in this battle as well. The Bentley Continental is bigger, heavier than the Lamborghini Huracan, but with its 4-litre V8 engine, it's got plenty of horsepower. You can see that. He's absolutely desperate to get through here, but the Corvette is really coming into the mix now. Jules Goujon right behind the Bentley Continental now. Christy Johns trying to find a gap. So Christa, if he goes for it, he's going to have to absolutely commit to a move, because if he tries something and backs off out of it, that Corvette's going to be through, isn't it?
I think it is. I think it is. You're absolutely right. So all being stacked up, aren't they, behind that? I mean, it's a big queue of cars now. And of course, they're all got their own little battles going on too. I suppose in many respects. Despite the lights being flashed, once again, there's no giving from the Stoltz car. Stoltz desperately trying to get away from them, but he's just not able to. And it's a bit of a train of about 8 cars there, Chris.
That's right. So these are all lapping in the mid 1 minute 23s. Renault, the race leader, is in the mid 1:22. So he's pulling away all of the time here. Oh, that's one off onto the grass, making a slight error. That's one of the Attempter racing cars.
Yeah, I think that was the Andre Guise Emil Lindholm car. I think.
Replay the start. I think Renault got a tap, you know, going into the first corner. It's his only drama so far. He got away with it. Pretty close. If he didn't get one, it was close to getting one, wasn't he?
Yes. Really, really tight that first turn, isn't it? Now let's see if there was a tap. Yeah, I think there was.
Yeah. Gentle, just a gentle one. Hurry up, get through the corner. We've got 30 cars breathing now, Annette. And this was the Bentley making a bit of contact as well, the Lamborghini, and it's still stuck behind it. Where else in the world would you see a Bentley and a Lamborghini making contact with each other? It's a quite expensive car to be damaging that, isn't it, if you think about it?
Yes. Not afraid of a bit of panel rubbing, though, are they? That's for sure.
Now this was the Audi we lost, wasn't it? Into the pits, number 34, the Lopez car, the Spanish car. More contact. Come on, get on with it, says Christians.
This is brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic.
And that was a very good move, wasn't it, under braking? That was Jules Gunon, the 77, going down the inside of Norbert Siedler, getting one of the places back.
Bernd Schneider, who of course has raced in the GT Masters on a number of occasions, and you were with him just last weekend, and what a weekend he had there.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic, winning another Nürburgring 24-hour title. Left it late, to be fair, last lap of the race, as you do. He wasn't in the car at the time, but he was the driver that got that car, which was always in the periphery, really, for the first hour or two of the race. He was the one that dragged them into the podium fight when he got in the car, and you can see that Bernd, 5 times DTM champion, is as quick as he ever was. So it was a real shame he never got a proper run in Formula 1. He was with the Zaxby team, which was one of the teams back in the day where you had too many cars for the grid in Formula 1. They had to qualify. It was one that wouldn't often qualify for the race. But Bernd has really made a career for himself, hasn't he, in GTs and sports car racing and DTM, and he's still mightily quick.
Now, that's a big gap that they have, the top 3 have pulled over the rest, isn't it? Train of cars is spreading itself out now in almost the second part of the battles that are going on. Van Lagen, the Norbert Siedler Lamborghini that you saw there, and the Porsche of David Jahn from KUS Team 75 Bernhard. So Renault with some 3.7 seconds. And just for the moment, Lucas Stolz seems to have seen off the challenge from the Christy Jons car.
Yeah, it's given himself a little breathing space for the first time. That'll maybe allow him to just get his own rhythm now as well, rather than looking in the mirrors and defending into the corners, just to try and put some quick laps in, as we see the moving onboard camera, appropriately enough, as they come onto the oval section of the course here. Robert Renault is going to go across the line. He's going to be pretty much 4 seconds clear. He was 3.8 seconds clear last time around. Through goes Patrick Hassanheimer. Yeah, 4.028 seconds for the driver in his 3rd season in VLN. Hassanheimer, number 69, in 2nd place in turn. He's about 1.5 seconds clear. Jesse Cron, number 20, in 3rd place. Further back, the championship leaders are not making very much progress. Connor De Filippi in the Land Motorsport Audi.
Board shot, and the one that really is impressing me here, running in P4, is Rolf Nijken. Now, you know, he was a B driver in Carrera Cup and has come into the GT Masters, as we see the Audi of Daniel Dobic and Edward Sandstrom going through there, one of the K-Styler 24 liveried cars. Ooh, just the back end stepping out. and that also allowing the Xavier Mars and Lucas Schreier, Aust Motorsport Audi, to go through as well. The number 55 car, watch here, really being able to take advantage of that little nerf between the two of them there, and it was Nicholas Pola and the Mirko Bortolotti car that ended up with the damage, the number 11 machine there.
Passing it away.
Rolf Aganati, has he done it?
Yes.
Now that is, just moments ago I was saying, you know, he was a B, almost a B+ driver in the Carrera Cup, and Rolf Aganati teaming up with Christian Engelhardt in the GT Masters, he's really been impressive this year. And another proof of his impressiveness, if you like, is that overtake. It was close, wasn't it?
It was close, but he was committed to the move as he came onto the oval, really pulled out of the slipstream. And what's more impressive was that he didn't overcommit, he didn't go too deep into the corner, he was able to keep it on line on the exit to the turn. And of course the right-hander coming up at turn 2, and the Lambo was through. So number 63 up into third place, Rolf Inisham, multiple amateur class champion in the Porsche Carrera Cup, getting ahead of Jesse Krohn, number 20. He's relegated to 4th place.
And already he's building up a bit of a margin, isn't he? So clearly the Lambo with some pace over the pace advantage over the BMW. Rob, good overtake that. In the meantime, where's Sebastian Ash and Luca Ludwig's car? Well, there it is, wearing the number 1, of course, by dint of being current champions. But really mired there in traffic, aren't they? With a lot of work to do to get that car to the pointy end of the result come the end of this race, which is some 45 3/4 minutes away.
Coming into this pack, rejoining shortly, he's going to be the number 34, Isaac Lopez. The blue Audi has been repaired, so it's about to go back out onto the track. Good timing, actually, because the traffic's just about going to get through before he's released. It's a long run down that pit lane. Look how close they get to the pit wall here as the leaders come storming through to the concrete wall rather, on the exit to the final turn here. It's 3.4 kilometre long circuit. Ronauer is being matched lap time wise now by the driver in second place. For the last couple of laps, Patrick Assenheimer has more or less matched his lap times. The gap is still only 4.1 seconds. Sebastian Ash and Luca Ludwig, twice winners and reigning champions. There, the Mercedes though is having to come in this race from 12th on the grid. And you can see that it's not easy to come through, even when you are the defending champion still. Back further than when they started.
Yes, P14. Yeah. So they're the Big FM Porsche with that logo down the side of the car, which is running in B12. And there is the Zach Speed Mercedes then that we were talking about just moments ago, running down there in B14. So we're now with just a shade under 4 seconds advantage at the front now, as we continue to watch that Mercedes driven by Sebastian Ash. Ahead is Peter Hovenaz in the Audi R8 LMS, the Land Motorsport car. There is Rolf Aganati, having got past Jesse Krohn. There's a problem for the number 11 Nicholas Pola Mirko Bortolotti car. And that's the one that sustained that damage, isn't it, earlier on, Chris?
That's right, yeah, the Hurricane running off. That's the Australian in the car. Couldn't stand for this first race and qualified it first. Slightly battered looking car, but it gets back into the mix here. So Ronauer and Assenheimer in the 122s, the high 122s most of the time. Inisham is going quicker and quicker now that he's been released, now that he's got up to 3rd place, and has just set the fastest first sector on this lap than anybody. So there is the leader. Gap was down a little bit last time around to the 2nd place, number 69, Callaway Competition Corvette, driven by Patrick Assenheimer. And then Inisham's on a very good pace as well in 3rd position. So the leader does a 1:23.027, a 1:23.094, almost the same lap time for Assenheimer. And then Inisham comes through with a personal best, 1:22.887. Gets a couple of tenths back on them, but he's still 7 seconds down on the race leader. He is, however, now pulling well clear of the Lamborghini of Jesse Krohn, which runs about 3 seconds further back. Here we have Porsche versus Audi, and number 17, the car you're watching that is in about 9th place currently. It's just dropped to 9th in the previous lap. The Team 75 Bernhard car, Timo Bernhard's team. Jan, the German driver, is aboard the Porsche at the moment, but coming under quite a bit of pressure from Philip Geipel, who races with ex-DTM racer Rahel Fry, and a team, a pairing which has been on the podium several times in the last couple of years. But another team you normally expect to find at the front, but didn't have a great qualifying session.
It's on board with Jules Gounon then, the Callaway Competition Corvette. And there in full view, that very, very muscular Bentley car. So the C7 GT3, of course, the latest incarnation of the Corvette. It's a phenomenal sounding car as it roars down the start-finish straight now into top gear, absolutely flat out before heavy braking for turn number 1 now. Car running in P7, the car ahead, the Christy Yons all yellow Bentley. Just kicking up a little bit of dust from the back end of that number 77 car.
Bentley's really fallen away, hasn't it?
It has.
The Lamborghini, having harassed it for 3 or 4 laps earlier on. It's a couple of seconds back now. The Bentley of Christy really, in turn, is now starting to come under pressure from the 6.1 litre Corvette, which is tucked in behind it. So those two battling over 6th and 7th place. The other Bentley, which only qualified 23rd, then got a 3-place grid penalty for an infringement seen qualifying from Fabian Hamprecht. That's got Le Mans winner Guy Smith as the second driver in it, but at the moment it is out of the top 20, a long way down the order.
Well, the number 24 car getting a drive-through penalty. Just flashed up on the screen for pushing another car. So the K-Styler Audi drive-through penalty there, you can see on screen. Confirmation of that just literally up on our message screen just before it appeared on yours. Assenheimer is just gradually just taking little bits out of Robert Renauer, isn't he? But not enough to really make a huge difference. We're getting ever closer to the pit window opening.
Renauer in the Porsche was able to get straight down to pace, whereas it took a few laps for Assenheimer to get into his stride, or at least the car to get into its stride. But after that, as I say, he's, for the last half a dozen laps now, he's been every bit as quick as Renauer. Slightly quicker once or twice. The gap was at its max 4.1 seconds. It's now 3.8 seconds, but most of the lap was, as I say, developed in the first 2 or 3 laps of the race. Renauer and Raginger looking for their first win of the season. In fact, they're looking for their first podium of the season. 4th is their best, for them in the top 6 as well. Had a pretty good Oschersleben, not such a good Sachsenring, but pushing hard here now for a good result. So the mandatory pit stops, people will start to think about now. It's coming up to the 25th, before the 35th minute of the race for the mandatory stop, the driver change. And we've now had 21 minutes of racing here. As you see, the race leader charging through, Robert Renauer. Best lap time 122.6, he's just done a 122.9, so he's still got good pace. And on that lap, he does pull away by more than half a second from Assenheimer. Oh dear, this doesn't look good, does it? You can see that coming.
And that's the...
That's the 22 Audi.
That's the,
no, it's the Nissan, isn't it?
No, that was the 24 Audi, wasn't it? And that's the reason for the drive-through penalty.
Pushing another car, which you can't really argue with, can you?
No, well, there was
the Lambo with no chance, and there's the evidence.
Yes, that's really rather
not me, Gov.
You're not going to get away with that, are you?
Well, it might have been. Could be spectacular later, though, because Robin Prince is a mighty quick driver, the ex-Formula Renault racer, last year's Blancpain Endurance champion, and the Dutchman gets in with a charge to come through the order. That could be good to watch, but as we've seen, we've got some quick drivers, some quick teams that qualified lower down than you'd expect that aren't really coming through, and the reason for that, Dave, is that in qualifying the top 17 teams were covered by less than a second.
I know.
So there is nothing in it, and if you're a little bit quicker than somebody ahead, it's still going to be tough to come through. There's nobody really that's been any quicker than anybody else here. It's been by fractions of a second, and that's why you're not seeing too many changes outside of the top 6, at least, in this race.
So the Remo Sven Bart car then from the RWT racing team. Now, is that a problem there for the? Because that's the Jesse Krohn car, isn't it?
Yeah, which has been reeled in, hasn't it, all of a sudden by Lucas Stoltz in the Lamborghini. So they're 4th and 5th, those two.
So we're on board with that car, looking back now at the Lambo.
Bentley's starting to loom a bit large in the mirrors again as well, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Funny how the pace dropped off from that, right from the very, very start, you know, where it looked very, very menacing. But, okay, over the last 3 laps then, the Jesse Krohn Lucas Stoltz difference you can see on screen. Where are we? Exactly 1.5 minutes from the pit window opening. And some background information, Robert Renaud driving the car. Martin Ragginger has literally had to rag it down quite a few flights of stairs because he was in the commentary booth next to us but a few minutes ago.
That's right, for German TV.
And it is clearly got to be down there and ready to jump into that car, isn't he?
There we go, Dave. The Lambo's going to have to go into turn 1. And he's been reeling in that BMW so much, surely this is going to be a simple move. Yes, it is, down the inside. As simple as you can get at those sorts of speeds with Jesse Krohn. He's a bit walking wounded at the moment. He's lost a couple of seconds over the Lamborghini Huracan in the last 2 laps. So a comfortable lead has been whittled down to nothing very quickly. And the Bentley now is going to try and take its turn. But the best opportunity to overtake here is into that turn 1 left-hander, isn't it? The hard braking zone.
Well, that was perfectly executed, wasn't it? Once again, not carrying too much speed, so you didn't run wide. Just got it all set up perfectly. There's the perennial flashing lights of the Bentley. So yes, that is going to be in the target sights, isn't it, of Christy Jonsson. Let's look back at that very car now from the onboard rear. Pit window is open now. And Jules Gounon. Then it'll be Daniel Karvitz that will take over. These are fascinating to watch. Drivers positively pulled out of the car. Now, we were saying just before coming on air, Daniel Karvitz, a bit real overtaker, isn't he?
Yeah, quick drivers, not surprised that they want to get him as long a stint as they possibly can. Champion in 2013 alongside Diego Alessi. So in they come, there's no refueling, it's just driver changeovers here. And in terms of our championship front runners, they're still stuck in 15th place. Conor De Filippi, Christopher Mies, who's going to get into the car. Second in the championship, defending champions Ludwig and Ash, still stuck in 14th place.
Oh!
Well, that was close,
now,
to say the least.
That was Michaela Arlen-Kodalinski and Marco Bononomi car that very nearly got tagged by the returning Corvette, which we're on board with now, looking backwards down the pit lane. Absolutely fascinating shot. And now we'll light it up. Very short run out once you've done the entire pit lane, isn't it? You feed right back into it. So there is the number 44 Audi then. Driven by Michaela Arlen-Kodalinski and Marco Bononomi. And in is the Patrick Assenheimer car with Dominic Schwager about to get in. Assenheimer positively pulled out of the car. Schwager is in.
I mean, there is a minimum pit time of 65 seconds, but you've got to get as close to that as you can. It's a long pit lane here as well, so a lot of that 65 seconds is soaked up on the speed limiter getting to and from your pit box. So they've got to make sure that they're in a position not to lose a fraction of a second here. It might just make the bit difference between a position or two as you go back on board with the race leader, Robert Renaud.
We were watching his teammate, Martin Ragginger, who was on air just a few moments ago. So the number 99 Preco Porsche then. And just running out onto the gravel, the Audi ahead, kicking up some gravel into the Just into the windscreen of the Porsche of Robert Renaud and soon to be Martin Raginger.
Second place has come in as well, number 69, Patrick Assenheimer in the Corvette. So he's the first of the front runners to make a pit stop.
So a super slow-mo shot of our race leader. There's Martin. Just out the front of that car. I mean, the front splitter is rubbing on the tarmac when the car brakes and the suspension compresses. Absolutely fantastic. And driven faultlessly through the first stint of this race. Here comes the number 20 BMW then. Louis Delatraz will be in and Jesse Krohn out.
That's the second Bentley coming in from a long, long way down the order. But Guy Smith, who won Le Mans with Bentley last decade, is now going to get into that car. He's been enjoying life in the GT Masters Championship. Dashes to get in. The team will have a little look at the car, the tyre pressures, but not too much in terms of changing the car. That's that you can do really in these pit stops, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, you're right. Okay, so is Renaud going to come in this time?
It makes sense because he's about to hit a load of traffic, isn't he? Yeah. So rather than get stuck in the traffic for a lap, might as well come in.
Yes, he's in. So in comes the race leader then, Robert Renaud. Martin Raginger standing by, following his on-air stint, ready to do his driving stint. Ooh, pit limiter in then. Pit lane speed limiter.
And second, who made his pit stop before, Patrick Assenheimer, is just at turn 3.
Right.
So we've got to keep an eye on him. He was around about 4 seconds behind, wasn't he? Trouble is, there's a mightily quick driver about to get into that Porsche. Martin Raginger.
Yeah, you're right.
It was during watching him around the back part of the course at Zandvoort last year in qualifying. It was pretty breathtaking. But he's not the only one, is he? I mean, the standards is incredibly high this year. Le Mans winners, Nürburgring winners, they're all in this, aren't they?
So Renaud then, having done a fantastic job. Porsche fires up once again. And is away. Right, here then, as we split the screen.
Turn 11 now.
Okay.
Is the 69, I mean, it should go more. I think it's going to be more.
Yeah, I think you're right.
There's the car that was second, just over the start-finish line now, but released back onto the track is the Porsche, so that 4-second gap, I reckon, is going to go up by a few seconds. It might be more like 7 seconds, maybe even more.
There is the Porsche. When do we see into shot the Corvette? We don't, in truth.
Interestingly, Christy Jons has stayed out longer than most in the number 7 Bentley. Now, he was, you know, stuck in that little battle, wasn't he? So they're going to try and leap some in the pit stops here. He's second at the moment. He's just come in. So the yellow Bentley just comes in, second on the track, but he's trying to get ahead of the Lambo, isn't he? The Luca Stoltz Lamborghini, which he was stuck behind for the whole of the first stint.
Right, so Bentley, and then it'll be Daniel Abt that will jump into that car now.
And it's Mirko Bortolotti that's going to get into the number 16. Well, he already is into the number 16 Lamborghini that this Bentley was trying to get ahead of. That's already been into the pits and made it stop. And looking at the tracker, should be about midway around the lap. No, in fact, into turn 12 it comes. It's coming onto the oval straight here. And again, the Lamborghini, I think, having been just clear of the Bentley in that battle for 5th place, is going to be well clear of it. There's the Bentley. There's the Lamborghini going through turn 1. It was just in front. It's going to be a couple of seconds in front, maybe even 3 seconds in front. Then you got the Corvette, which was just by the Bentley as well, just behind it, and he's going to get through Daniel Kalvitz. So their early pit stop pays dividends. The Corvette gets ahead of the Bentley. That's going to gain it a place, moving it even further up the top 6. So this is the car on the team. They're a third in the championship. The top 2 in the championship are both struggling in the race so far. So it's looking pretty good for Daniel Kalvitz, who He's got a clear track ahead of him as well, so he should be able to put in some good lap times here. But a bit of a gap to try and get up to the number 16 Lamborghini here to try and get another place in the race.
Well, fantastic that was. So then, as the order there, those that are pitted, you can see on the left-hand side of your screen. Those that haven't, Edward Sandstrom, Daniel Dobbich car is one of them. Also the Hesemans car too. So 27 minutes of the race remaining, and now the Bentley coming under pressure from the Team 75 Bernhard car of David Yarn and Matteo Cairoli. And just as I say, coming under pressure, really just getting up the inside of the Bentley now as they head towards turn number 1, the inside line for the Porsche. So the Daniel Abt Bentley goes back another place because that Porsche moving up a place. So that was all set up really on the exit of the final turn. And whether Daniel Abt is just losing another place, Chris, whether they're struggling with something on that car now.
Here's a move from Luca Ludwig into the number 1 car, trying to get ahead of the number 20 Schubert BMW of Delatraz, and succeeding in doing so. So that car has dropped back a lot, hasn't it, the BMW? And equally, there's been some places gained during the pit stop window for the number 1 Zaxby's Mercedes, Sebastian Asch in the first stint, Luca Ludwig in the second. That's a good lineup, that as well. 2 very strong drivers, 2 gold-level drivers in the car. Back into the pits, I'm afraid.
Well,
oh no, it's for its standard change. This is number 34, which is the Audi. So Kelvin van der Linde's going to get into that now, isn't he? Oh,
and out is the Philip Geipel Rahal Frey Audi. And this is why. Oh. Well, that was a very bold and ambitious move, wasn't it?
I think Rahal will,
quite polite.
Yeah, I think Rahal will not be entirely happy with that. Let's put it that way. Probably a few cursories inside the cockpit. Well, look at this gaggle of cars making its way through. Everybody fighting over the same bit of tarmac here. Trying to get in the battle, the Phoenix Racing Audi of Marcus Winkelhock. Only driver to start last and first in a Grand Prix in Formula 1. He raced in a rain-affected race in a very uncompetitive car, chose the right tyres in changing conditions and led the race.
Right, you'll see a number of cars going through the pit lane now, and that's because of drive-through penalties for Nicolas Pola and Gerhard Tuaraza. Also a drive-through penalty for car number 36, which is the Marvin Dienst Christopher Zanella Porsche, the Big FM Porsche. Those 2 are getting a drive-through penalty. Should there be any other penalties issued, of course, we'll bring that to you. As you say, that gaggle of cars there. Fantastic onboard shots of the action, which doesn't abate at all in the ADAC GT Masters. Part 2 of the race now that all the pit stops done and dusted, and the big loser out is the Louis Delatraz Schubert Motorsport car.
And the Royal Finish and Lamborghini got ahead in the pit stops into second place of the number 69 Callaway Competition Corvette. So the Lambo,
Engelhardt driving that car, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Christian Engelhardt, the very experienced Porsche Cup racer, has come in as the safety car comes out.
And I suspect that will be for the Rahal Frey car, which was actually, whilst it was in the gravel, it was close to the track, wasn't it?
That's right, stuck in the gravel at turn 8. See if we look out the window. There it is on your screen. Now that's annoying, isn't it, for Martin Reginger, because having had a 4-second lead, the 99 Porsche before the pit stops, had a 9.5 second lead just before the safety car had come out.
And now he's going to have Engelhardt behind him.
That's right.
With the gap diminished.
That's right, they were lapping very similar lap times as well. So Engelhardt, the number 63 car in the pit stops, getting ahead of the 69 Callaway Competition Corvette, which has now got Dominic Schwager behind the wheel. So 69 down to 3rd place. Still 4th, number 16, which is Bortolotti now in the Lamborghini Huracan, bright green machine. Then in 5th place, as we saw, very good turnaround for Callaway Competition. They came in early. Daniel Karlowitz put some very good laps in. and that was enough then to get him up into 5th place. 6th position is the Team Bernhard Matteo Cairoli Porsche. It's Italian Porsche Cup champion in the car. That's in 6th place. 7th place, number 5, which is now Jaap van Lagen, the very quick Dutch driver, and another Lamborghini Huracan. 8th, the Bentley, which didn't really get what it wanted out of those pit stops, despite coming in later than everybody else. The Bentley drops back in 8th place, number 7, and that is now Daniel Abt behind the wheel of the car. 9th place is number 28, the Audi R8, Frederik Vervisch. It was mighty impressive for a few laps in the very wet conditions at the 24-hour race last weekend. And then 10th now, the reigning champions, the team second in the championship. So Luca Ludwig in that pit stop window. Dave has gone from 14th up to 10th place, which is a bit better, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And now, of course, behind the safety car, all the cars will be bunched up. Going from bad to worse for that Audi of Kelvin van der Linde. And bits of panel work going everywhere here. As you can see on screen as we take a look at some of the replays there. Daniel Abt right on the back of the Huracan ahead. So how close they get to that wall. Now this, though, is actually why we have a safety car. That put Rahal Frey into the gravel. And very, very close to the circuit. The car has got to be recovered from there, and if the car's got to be recovered from there, we have to go to a safety car, which is what we have right now.
Which is bad news for some, but it's an opportunity for others, including our championship leaders who came off well through that pit stop window. So the number 29 Audi, which leads the championship, 16th on the grid, 11th, so just outside of the top 10 now. Got Christopher Mies in the car. They have had 3 second place finishes so far. He's a Nürburgring 24-hour winner from last year. He's a Bathurst 12-hour race winner. He's a very quick driver, Christopher Mies. So the number 29 Audi, and just in front of it, the number 1 Mercedes of Luca Ludwig. The top 2 of the championship are together, 10th and 11th, maybe to work together to come through the order. However,
number 1 is under investigation.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Kind of not surprised, and I did say earlier if there were any other penalties, of course we'll bring you that. Well, sorry to say, wouldn't be at all surprised. Well,
he went for a move, but it was only alongside the rear of the Audi, wasn't it? And then
we didn't see from another angle whether there was sufficient of a gap there, did we? Unfortunately, whether, you know, and it's always difficult to tell from that point whether Rahal turned in or whether there was a gap that she was turning into, or whether there wasn't actually a gap there and one was trying to be made. Can't really say until we see it from a different angle. And
the officials will have a good look from as many angles as they can in race control, won't they? Make their mind up. So it's under investigation. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to get a penalty, but none of that is of any help to Rahal Frey and Philip Guipault. Here's a replay of the incident. Understand why he went for it.
Yeah. Well, actually, to be fair to Luca, it did look like Rahal was going to turn in, saw the Mercedes was there, and sort of let go again. I don't know.
Yeah, but it was from a long way back. Rahal will, I'm sure, say that, well, you know, I wasn't going to stand on the brakes to let him through. I was trying to get through the corner myself, and you got to turn left. It's a left-hander. Yeah. And she didn't weave excessively, did she? Really?
No.
So I mean, either way, even if there is a penalty, that's
not going to give her anything back.
Not give her any points back, is it? No.
Well, one of the extraction machines that still forms part of the scenery, if you like, here at the Lausitzring. Fantastic scenery on the racetrack, that's for sure. But we are under a safety car at the moment, which means that all the good work done by Robert Renaud and now Raginger. Christian Engelhardt champing at the bit right behind. Now the Rahal Frey car has been recovered, so, and there is the car.
There's Rahal.
Yes. So safety car is going to come in this lap.
Right, keeping the heat of the tyres here because they know they're going to have to go straight into this, straight into a battle, the top two. Ragginger number 99 right behind him, Christian Engelhardt number 63. The gap was 9.5 seconds thanks to the safety car. It is now 0.6 seconds. Then you've got in third place Dominic Schwager, the car which was second before the pit stops. Fourth place might be one to watch as well. Yeah. Bortolotti, number 16 in the Hurricane, and I think probably definitely the one to watch. In fifth place, it's going to be Daniel Carvitz, isn't it?
Yes, I agree.
Because in the big American Corvette, he is one driver that's never afraid to attack and have a go. So watch out for him. 77 in fifth place, and Matteo Caroli, likewise, is a very talented young driver in the number 17 Team 75 Bernhard Porsche.
So Martin then backs them all up. Christian Engelhardt, of course, will be trying to anticipate when Martin is going to floor it and try and do exactly the same as this race gets back underway then. Through the twisty section there, back out onto the oval. Footful of power now. Ragginger tries to pull away from Christian Engelhardt in P2. Then it's Dominic Schwager, then it's Bortolotti, then it is Daniel Carvitz. And Engelhardt gets ever closer to the Porsche, go through turn one. We're on board with the race-leading Martin Ragginger car, looking back at the Lamborghini Huracan that's being driven now by Christian Engelhardt. It was Rolf van Eycken that drove the car in the first stage of the race. As they scream past our camera point on the concrete wall there. We go on board with Christian Engelhardt now, who tries to take everything out of the corner, only kissing the apex, taking the curb, trying to get ever closer to that Porsche. But I would say that Ragginger had done a very good job there, you know.
He did, yeah, controlled it, and the Lambo came back at him under braking into turn one, but by then the gap was too big. Somebody running out wide in the background, just behind the Bentley. Daniel Abd, I think, was the number 28 Audi R8 of Frederick Verviche, but he got away with that. It's very odd about seeing Engelhardt not in a Porsche, isn't it? Having raced in the Carrera Cup Deutschland as a front runner for so many years, a runner-up in that championship and Super Cup, and I suppose Ralph finishing as well, the one that we're used to seeing in Porsches, but both in Lamborghinis. Engelhardt, though, proved he can do these endurance races. A couple of years ago, he won the Dubai 24-hour race, and he is the one driver in this battle, this mix, that you think might just be able to take the fight to Martin Ragginger here. The Porsche, though, at the moment has half a length, half a second lead.
So moving up there and getting past the car of Christian Frankenhout and Christopher Haas was the Audi of Winkelhock and Pommer, the Phoenix Racing car, as out goes the number 31 machine of Boris Said and Loris Hezemans. The Callaway Competitions Corvette is out. I don't know where that is on track. And they're under pressure and about to lose a place potentially. Daniel Abt doing everything he can to make that already big Bentley as wide as possible. It's the Christopher Mies Conor Di Filippi car, as in comes the
number one Mercedes with a problem rather than because it's been penalised.
Yeah, there was. I just looked at the screen to see if I'd missed something, but no, there's no message yet, is there?
The team second in the championship retired from the race. Look at that, the number 29 Audi of Christopher Mies pushing on now. The championship leaders with a very real chance of some good points here. It's ninth now. It could be eighth very shortly. It's onto the tail of the Bentley, Dave. Carvitz is going to go past. Another place gain for Carvitz, and that was a mistake, wasn't it? Under braking from Bortolotti, who had to go for a position but couldn't keep the car slowed down enough into the turn, and deep into the corner. He was then giving the place away to the Corvette on the exit. 31's made it back to the pits, by the way. Hezemans Callaway Competition car. As look at this, Porsche versus Huracan. 75 car through.
Indeed so.
So that's Cairoli with a move, isn't it?
Yeah.
To gain a place as well.
That was good. Oh, my goodness.
That's Christian's the Bentley, and I think it's number 69, isn't it? The Corvette of Schwager.
So Dominic Schwager and...
There's the Bentley. Maybe not. No, it's the Audi. It's the 15 Audi of Winkelhock. Oh dear. Well, Bentley's inside, but locks up. Look, there was smoke coming from the tyres.
Yes, you can see that.
So understeered into Winkelhock, didn't he?
Daniel Abt driving that car at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
So safety car has been called for.
Oh. Little conversation here. Marcus Winkelhock saying he's jolly disappointed in the driving of Daniel Abt there.
No, I never had you down as a lip reader. You're so right. That's almost exactly what was said.
Well, they went for the move, the Bentley. He got the inside line. The problem was he couldn't slow the car down. He locked it, understeered off, and Winkelhock was, well, you're on the outside. You're always the one that's going to come off worst, aren't you? Well, it was lively while it lasted for the Bentley. But that's another 2 front runners out.
So let's see it again.
Well, this was...
No, this is earlier, isn't it?
First up, Christopher Mees getting through and getting himself up into... right.
So now you can see smoke, you know, there's already smoke coming off that tyre because the bodywork was rubbing on it.
Yeah, which probably didn't help, did it? As he tried to slow the car down. And Winkelhock is through now, alongside.
I wonder if that tyre let go.
Possibly.
I wonder if that tyre let go.
I mean, certainly the bodywork rubbing on the tyre would have helped him to lock up, helped him to understeer, wouldn't it? None of that's helpful to Marcus Winkelhock, though, who's full of adrenaline, as you can see. Wants an immediate explanation. Well, in fact, I don't think he wants an explanation. I just think he wants to tell him how he feels about it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a quiet ride to the paddock, isn't it? Come on, let's get on with it, he says.
Where would you like to go?
Home.
What do you think? Well, under investigation is the Daniel Abt car, which we can see being hauled through the gravel now. And there, look.
Smashed the
alloy is broken, isn't it?
Yeah, and is that tyre deflated in his defence?
So perhaps I was right. Perhaps that tyre did let go.
Yeah.
And that's what shoved him into Winkelhock rather than...
Yeah. Because of the contact up on the start-finish line where he was trying not to be squeezed into the wall. Or it could have been, but it wasn't the contact with the Audi.
Well,
that's happened. We don't know.
Yeah, no, we don't. No, we don't. Chances are we won't. But what that does mean is that, once again, poor old Martin Ragginger has got to do it all over again, hasn't he? From another safety car. What have we got? 9.5 minutes of this race left.
It's working out beautifully for Karvitz, though, isn't it?
Oh, isn't it?
He overtakes a few, gets bunched back together. He'll has another go. He could get a podium finish here. He's in 4th place suddenly, Daniel Karvitz. He's got Christopher Mees, championship leader, only in 8th position. He's got the #1 car, second in the championship, out of the points.
Yeah.
So this is really going to bunch things up. In terms of the point situation, De Filippi and Mees have 60, 54 for Ludwig and Ash. They're not going to score in this one. And Gunon and Karvitz, 43. So they could not necessarily move into second place, but be very much closer, aren't they?
So cars being led around by the safety car for the second time of asking in the second half of this ADAC GT Masters race. The race being led by the Porsche driven by Martin Ragginger. It was Robert Renaud that was in the car in the first stint. Then P2, it is the Lamborghini of Christian Engelhardt, and it was Rolf Nyken that drove that car in the first stint of the race. And we have almost exactly 8 minutes of the race left to run. No word yet when the safety car is in. From our vantage point, we can see that both cars are just about out of the gravel now. Those two cars being the Marcus Winkelhock Audi and the Daniel Abt Bentley. And once those cars are out, I would think we might get away with this lap that the safety car is on, and there's a Porsche there with a problem.
Is that Cairoli? No.
Is that the...
Oh, it is. No, it's Cairoli, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
It's Matteo Cairoli's car.
He was 5th. He's trying to limp it around, but that really has got an issue, hasn't it? Which is good news, because the place gained now for the championship leader, Christopher Mees, is going to move up with this into 7th place. And that will give them 6 points. So they'll move on to 66 points.
Oh, puncture, look. So, safety car is going to come in this lap. I was intimating that it might be only this lap left under the safety car. Safety car is going to come in. So once again, Martin Ragginger has got to back them all up. And Christian Engelhardt will be rubbing his hands with invisible soap, thinking I've been gifted another potential opportunity here. So Ragginger furiously weaving from side to side, puts his foot down now. Engelhardt tries to do the same. If anything, I think Engelhardt has done it a bit better this time and is closer. And so too is Dominic Schwager, I would say.
Yeah, the three of them bunch together here. They can't overtake, or try to, until they get past that start-finish line. The opportunity might come into turn 1. He's a bit closer, isn't he? Not quite on his tail yet, but he was further back on the restart last time, and he's still closed up under braking. Weaving the tyres almost in a non-start type way.
Yeah.
The third place car, wasn't it, of number 69 Schwager, but no change in the top 3. In 4th place, you got Daniel Karlwitz, who is going to move up to 2nd in the championship if he finishes in 4th place here by a point. Oh, all over the grass. That was the 28 Audi, wasn't it, of Vavisha. Oh, and sent around then, number 5 Audi, the HP car of Jaap van Lagen.
So
that was 6th as well, that car.
Yeah. Elsewhere, almost going 3 abreast through that turn, aren't they? That's much further down the order, but that's Marvin Deeds to Christopher Zanella, of course, in that Porsche.
Just had a shot of the 20 Schubert Motorsport BMW of Delatraz getting properly bullied around the corners by the Nissan. That has, bearing in mind it was running in 4th place for much of the race, it's down in 12th, 13th place now. Number 20 car. That is, I think, the 66 car, isn't it? Which was Emil Lindholm, I think, isn't it, for the 2nd stint? Driver's getting into the Swedish driver getting into the mix here. Blue machine, can he get through to the outside line? No, unless Dave, deep into the corner goes the Audi. Number 30, which
yes,
right
Remo Lips and Sven Bart, isn't it? The Gert Beiselt at the RWT team Corvette. In the meantime, Ragginger once again has done it at the moment. He's pulled away just under 9/10 from Christian Engelhardt. There's so much activity going on throughout the pack with only 4 and a bit minutes left of racing. Forgive us, there's a very slow-moving car there. You can just see at the top of that previous shot, but P1 and P2 just pulling away a little bit from Dominic Schwager now in P3, I think. And there with problems is the Vavish Audi that we saw around, and also out is the Delatraz, that's the BMW.
Which was going backwards, wasn't it? Limping back now, the number 5.
Yes, Jaap
Van Lagen car after it's spin, but that's damaged as well, isn't it? So, what happened? Let's have another look at it. The camera's forced onto the grass, and then nothing yet. Back down the inside of the Audi, and Audi's all over him at the moment. And then he got a little tag. He's just scrapping away, wasn't he, Jaap van Lagen, trying to hold his position, having had the problem at the first corner. By the way, that number 13 car, the Corvette.
Oh, you could just see a huge lump come off.
Right rear, yeah.
Yeah.
That number 13 Corvette started last in the race.
Yes, because it was given a penalty, wasn't it? It had to start right at the back.
So to be in the points is pretty impressive.
Extraordinary,
nice
isn't it?
place. For well, behind the wheel now, we've got Sven Bart, with Remo Lips, and the first stint, the Swiss driver. 3 minutes to go then, Dave. The gap's still only 0.6 of a second. The Porsche ahead of the Lamborghini. They're both pulling clear now of number 69 Corvette of Dominic Schweger.
Have to say, I think Raginger has done a great job, and Robert Renauer ahead of him as well. Robert Renauer, of course, was in the first stint of the race. But with 2.5 minutes left to run, I think they've done enough. Car number 99 is under investigation. Now, that is the race-leading car.
Well, it seems too long ago for it to be related to the pit stops. Can only imagine it's something to do with the safety car, yeah. But there's no further information as yet. That was when the 13 Corvette ran out wide. Sven Bart lost a bit of bodywork. The front splitter goes missing, but still 9th place. Still in the points from the very back of the field. So 2 minutes to go. Martin Raginger and his teammate Robert Renauer looking for their first win of the season, looking for Porsche's first win of the season as well. 2 wins for Mercedes. The Corvette's had a win and a Lambo's had a win, but not yet a Porsche this season.
So what in the closing minute and a half of this can Christian Engelhardt bring to the battle? Well, we're looking back from the Raginger car at Christian Engelhardt, who under braking gets ever closer. You have to say that both Renauer and Raginger seemingly have not really put a foot wrong, pending why the car number 99 is under investigation, which we can only assume had something to do with the safety car.
Christopher Mies is up to 6th place now, so it's been a good second half of the race for the points leaders. They'll still be the points leaders. Karvitz and Gunon are going to move up to 2nd place. Driver Martin Raginger, this is the view back from the race leader. And as ever in GT Masters racing, you have an hour-long race, but it still comes down to the end, to the last 0.2 of a second, doesn't it?
So Engelhardt then, as you say, getting ever closer, but got to find a way past that Raginger Porsche, were he ever to get close enough to have the speed to even make a move. A number of cars are under investigation for pit stops. Now, interestingly, number 99 is not one of those cars, which reinforces the thought that we've got that perhaps that's the reason that car, this race-leading car that we're on board with, that's under investigation perhaps for some safety car infringement. As whoa, Engelhardt trying so hard.
Could be a dash to the flag, this, isn't it now?
I think Raginger has done enough. And Renauer too, as they're back onto the oval then, and heading towards the timing line. Engelhardt not quite close enough to take a look at the inside. This is the last lap. It's now or never for Christian Engelhardt, and as you've said, the best overtake opportunity does come at turn number 1, which we've just gone through.
Which is gone, yeah, now. So trying to force Martin Raginger into an error, but he hasn't made any yet behind the wheel of that car. Final lap of the race. Looking back from the race leader, an hour of racing. We've had 40 laps and they're just 1 car length apart. Hugging the inside line here is the Porsche as he goes through the left-hander. That turn 6 turns off the oval into the right-hander at turn 7 coming up. Through there, no problem at all. Arcing right, the Lamborghini takes a tighter line, closes up to the back end of the Porsche. They go onto the back straight now. There's a bit of a sprint up towards the left-hander at turn 8, where Rahel Frey ended up in the gravel, flashing the lights just to try and unsettle the leader. But the Porsche still has its nose in front, Dave.
It does, and Christian Engelhardt is not going to make it easy over the final few turns, but despite his valiant efforts... Oh, and a big effort there coming from Christian Engelhardt, but it's just not going to be enough. Raginger has done enough and now has one more turn, which he's in now, before he will see sight of the checkered flag, and it will be a win for Porsche and Martin Raginger and Robert Renauer, with Christian Engelhardt and Rolf Nijken taking P2, and then Dominic Schweger and Patrick Assenheimer taking P3. Wow, what a dramatic race.
Fantastic. So I think that's the closest finish of the season as well. Not quite. 0.374 of a second in race 2 of the season. What was that? 0.360. No, it was the fastest by 14 thousandths. 2 races now have had split by just 0.3 of a second. One at Oschersleben and one here at the Lausitzring. Wow, what a drive under a lot of pressure that. And their lead twice was whittled away, wasn't it, by the safety car? And twice he controlled things. Engelhardt gave it his all, though, didn't he? Absolutely everything. It's not the easiest circuit to pass on. The Porsche kept it steady, kept its nose in front. 3rd place, the final place on the podium goes the way of Patrick Assenheimer and Dominic Schwager, who get back into the podium playing position. That car was 2nd before the pit stops, but 3rd's a good result for them. And Daniel Karwitz gets 4th place with his teammate Jorgen on doing a good job at the first stint as well to move up into 2nd place in the championship.
So as the cars then making their way back, it has been a very, very good race from the Porsche, and I know I harp on about this, but very, very impressive too from Christian Engelhardt, and more so from Rovaniken ahead, you know, who had the first stint of the race, did an exceptional job.
Did a good move off into turn 1 as well, didn't he, to get that place. A really good move to get past the Schubert BMW, which struggled and then retired. Got slower and slower as the race went on.
Car number 99, whatever the investigation was, there's no further action.
Right.
Which is good, because it means that you are looking at the confirmed winner of the race.
Quick mention as well to the Car Collection Motorsport team and the Audi R8 of Christian Frankenhout, the Dutch driver, and Christopher Haas, the German driver, which is one that made good progress from 19th on the grid. The 33 car got well up into the points in 7th place.
Down the pit lane now towards Park Ferme. Of course, we'll park up the Raginger, Engelhardt and Schwager cars. Porsche, Lamborghini and Corvette.
Looks great, doesn't it, when they park them up like that? Fantastic.
Sound awesome too, don't they?
Daniel Dobish and Ed Samstrom had a good drive as well, by the way. And the Audi from 20th on the grid, they got into the points in 8th position. But Raggy, the winner. The groundwork done by Robert Renauer as well, who was very impressive, wasn't it, at the start of the race. Used to driving Porsches, of course, Robert Renauer, but Martin Raginger was always going to be a gun when he took over the wheel of the race. 2 gold-level drivers, these. And a tap on the helmet there for, I think, Raggy just sort of recognising the effort that Engelhardt put in at the last few laps there.
Yes, I think you're right. So the drivers will be ushered up to the podium.
And it's 30 degrees now, Dave, so imagine the temperature inside that car. With all that kit on. Engine heat as well, not much ventilation. Looks like he's just been for a mild jog there, doesn't he? Got my knees by now.
So, across the course of a weekend, we always get 2 ADAC GT Masters races. Another one to come tomorrow. It's all part of the fantastic Motorsport Festival that's here at the Lausitzring this weekend, of which ADAC GT Masters is a big part. Also joined by the ADAC Formula 4, as is usually the case, of course, across any GT Masters event, but also DTM and the Porsche Carrera Cup as well. So it is a real festival of motorsport and a fantastic crowd in the sunshine here to enjoy the race action. They've just seen a fantastic 60-minute plus 1 lap ADAC GT Masters race that's been won by Martin Raginger and Robert Renauer, Christian Engelhardt and Rovaniken and Dominic Schwager and Patrick Assenheimer. So conversations going on there. as they head off up to the podium.
Second win for both of those drivers in the championship. It's kind of hard to believe, isn't it? Martin has had more race wins the way he's driven the last couple of years, but he and Renault with their second win.
Christian and Rolf there. Interesting glasses from Rolf, and I chose the green frames to match the car. As I say, a few steps up to the podium, which is where they're all heading now. And the trophies await. Credit to the race control team, who, whatever they were doing in terms of looking at the number 99 car, which was brought under investigation at 14:05, they made their decision very quickly so that we know we're going to see the right podium.
That's right. Renault and Ragginger are going to be on the front row for the second race as well tomorrow. Ragginger will start that one, but it's the 69 Callaway Competition Corvette, which will be on pole position tomorrow.
Right.
And then going on Karlovitz, having had a good day today from a pretty bad day yesterday in qualifying. They're going to be third on the grid. Inishin and Engelhardt will be fourth, and a much better starting position tomorrow for the points leaders. Mies and De Filippi will be fifth on the grid.
Mies and De Filippi finishing P6 in the race today. Of course, they've minimised their losses, haven't they, by virtue of the fact that Luca Ludwig and Sebastian Ash didn't finish.
That's right, yeah. No, it could have been a lot worse. They'll take that, I think, from
Yes,
16th on the grid, yeah.
Yes, I think you're right.
Well, they've got the format of this championship dead right, haven't they? I mean, they're not endurance races as such, but you've got GT cars, mini enduros at 1 hour races. And there's always something going on. There's never a dull moment, is there?
And I think they've got the balance of performance about right as well, because to see such a fantastic selection of cars, all relatively close to each other.
Well, as we said in qualifying, 17 cars split by less than a second. That does tell you they've got it right, and the entertainment value is good. The level of driving is excellent. Some top drivers in there now. And as you said at the top of the show, what a mix of cars: Lamborghinis, Porsches, Bentleys. Corvettes as well. The Audi R8's, of course, great looking car, very successful car. The names that we're seeing in this championship now that have come from other categories, and also, as you mentioned, from single seaters, that it's a really, really great mix. Classification then: Renault, Ragginger the winners, Sarneken and Engelhardt. Then it was Assenheimer and Schrager, with Gunon, Karvitz, Stolz and Bortolotti, De Filippi, Mies, Frankenhout and Haas, and Dobic and Sandstrom the top 8 places. Then it was Lips and Bart and Kujala and Pavlovich. P10 with Regavou and Sylvestre and Dienst and Zanella, Spengler, Zanzini, Stoll, Frins, Treya, Masson, Niederhauser, Zampieri, and you can see the rest there as the podium is being readied. We can see from our vantage point that we're just about to cross to the podium and see the top 3 on the podium steps there to enjoy the celebrations. We lost quite a number of cars, which is not necessarily always the case with GT Masters. It can be packed grids, but ordinarily there they are then, to the top step of the podium for Robert Renault to your right and Martin Ragginger to your left. Now, they've been called wrong. Yes, I was just thinking that.
Hang on, just quickly look at the screen.
Yeah.
Is there a penalty I'm not aware of?
Yeah, no, wrong step. Back to third place you go. There we go. They were late, that's why.
Come on, chaps.
So, second place. Third one's up, but they were second. Christian Engelhardt and Rolf Finisham. The team, Prekop Herberth Motorsport, and our teams winning national anthem now, before we have the trophies and the champagne celebrations here at the Lausitzring.
So it'll be Herman Tomczyk, then the ADAC Sport President, that makes the trophy presentations to Robert Renaud and Martin Raginger. And Frank Dillison from Pirelli Deutschland awards the trophies to the late onto the podium. Rolf Eichen and Christian Engelhardt. Manfred Voigt then from ADAC Berlin-Brandenburg, then making the presentation to the third place drivers, and there comes the Swatch Group trophy for the team. And celebration time.
Renaud has swiped his. Oh, no, he's opened it now.
It's back.
Yeah, it's back. I thought he was going to take that to a quiet room somewhere and enjoy it. Victory, that's a strong pairing, isn't it? Renaud and Raginger, and they didn't do anything wrong on all the restarts, the original start of the race, and the lap times. It all came together for the Porsche team. Good pit stop as well.
And there is the points situation. De Filippi and Mies taking advantage of the fact that Ludwig and Ash didn't finish. They're on 68 points at the top, but now Kravitz and Gunon 55 points before we see Luca Ludwig and Sebastian Ash. And look where Christian Engelhardt and Rolf Eichen are now. P4 in the points.
Yep, moved up there. And it's all starting to bunch up as well, getting very close. Still a long, long way to go in this calendar year. Renaud and Raginger move up in the mix as well, up to 5th place with that victory. Florian Stoll and Lawrence Van Der in 6th and 7th position. Sandstrom and Dobic had a good run through the field today. In 8th, then Stoltz and Winkelhock, who didn't have a good day today, running at the top 10.
So another race to come here at the Euro Speedway Lausitzring tomorrow for the ADAC GT Masters. Then it is the summer break for the ADAC GT Masters. Don't appear again until towards the end of July at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. Then it's Nürburgring in August. Zandvoort also in August. And then, of course, the season play-out, the finale, as always, at Hockenheim right at the beginning of October for the ADAC GT Masters. So you're absolutely right. Still a very, very long way to go in this championship. And there is the main grandstand here at the Lausitzring with the very, very big turbine behind, and glorious weather, and the glorious motor racing that has been put on has made sure that this festival has attracted a big, big crowd on day one. Day two, we're expecting to be even busier. And it's not only the ADAC GT Masters that are racing, but also ADAC F4, DTM, also the Porsche Carrera Cup. Some drivers in the GT Masters, of course, racing in the Carrera Cup as well. If they didn't need a hard enough job in the GT Masters, they can have a go in the Carrera Cup. Also, Engelhardt and Kravitz, two that spring to mind initially. And there's also motorbikes racing here as well. So it's a real great meeting of minds, isn't it, to bring these two packages together, which both stand alone ordinarily, but it is a really fantastic festival of motorsport here at the Lausitzring.
Yeah, great package for the fans, great entertainment for the fans as well. So we have a look at some super slow-mos of our top 3 in the 5th race of the season for the ADAC GT Masters here at the Lausitzring. 3rd place today going the way of Corvette Callaway competition, and Patrick Assenheimer and Dominic Schwager, the drivers. The Lamborghini Huracan of Rolf Innishan and Christian Engelhardt takes 2nd place. In the end, only 0.36 seconds behind the eventual race winners to make it the closest finish of the season so far. But Dave, today it was all about this pair, the Porsche number 99 car, Prescott Herbeth Motorsport. Robert Renaud went 1st, Martin Brundle went 2nd, and although they didn't win by much, they controlled the whole race.
Certainly did, and whatever was thrown at them, they coped with admirably, as we enjoy that super slow-mo then of the race-winning car. That's how close it gets to the tarmac surface here at the Lausitzring. Fantastic GT cars in the ADAC GT Masters. Packed grid of talented drivers and just awesome machinery as well. The one on the LED display of the number 99 Porsche, and they're the 2 drivers on the top step of the podium, enjoying their podium moment. Worked very, very hard towards the closing stages of the race when safety car intervention meant they had to do it all over again in terms of building up a lead. Didn't matter how small it was going to be towards the end, but they did it, and that's what mattered. Well done to Robert Renaud and Martin Reginger then. Victorious in race 1 in the ADAC GT Masters, with race 2 to come tomorrow. So the cars are down there, as you can see, and it's great that the top 3 places, Chris, we've been mentioning the all different manufacturers.
Absolutely right, yeah. We're 5 races now, 4 different teams winning. Mercedes, Porsche, Lamborghini and Corvette have all taken overall race wins. But it's not just about the pro drivers, is it, Dave? This championship, the Gentleman's Trophy and the Team's Trophy championships to race for as well. Different point system depending on what level of driver you have as a gentleman driver with you, as to how much the scores are multiplied by.
So, national anthem to play out once again. So the baseball caps go back on. And Dominic Schwager and Patrick Assenheimer receiving trophies once again from the ADAC Sport President, Mr. Herman Tomczyk. And Daniel Carvitz, as we move on to the 3rd step now. With all the drivers recognised. Right, Mr. Tomczyk makes his way out of the way. Oh, I thought that Daniel Carvitz was going for the champers then, but he wasn't. He was actually going for the trophy for the photograph first. So there we have it. We must close now, but as you watch this podium, thank you so much for being part of the ADAC GT Masters Race 1 here. We have Race 2 to come tomorrow. And, well, fantastic to see that podium there from Chris Hartley and from myself. Thank you for being part of it. Make sure you join us for another fantastic race, which will be Race 2, we hope, in the sunshine tomorrow. Bye-bye.